my favorite doggy shirt is too small.
That's okay, Ashley. Mommy can turn it into a pillow for you.
Hooray! Thanks, Mommy.
You're welcome. Hi Loopers, Melissa here with Lovable Loops. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to upcycle an old favorite t-shirt into a crochet pillow. So in the clip you just saw, my daughter Ashley loves this shirt. She actually loves dogs. But she's very sad that this shirt is now too small for her, so I have offered to turn it into a pillow for her, and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do that. The first thing we want to do is separate the shirt from the front to the back. I'm going to use a pair of scissors here and just cut along the seam. I want to be careful not to cut into the front of the shirt because I'm not quite sure how large of a square I'm going to cut out. So I want to make sure I allow myself as much space as possible. So whether you're preserving the back of the shirt or the front, just separate the two pieces. If you have a pair of sharp scissors, this should not be too difficult to do. All right. Okay, so now I have two pieces. Don't need that back piece anymore. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I want to decide how large I want the square to be. So my plan is I'm going to cut around the dog face, and then I'm going to use this rotary cutter here. It has a blade in it that is specifically for cutting stitches. It's called a skip cut rotary cutter blade. So what it'll do, I'll show you down here. Actually, let me show you on this scrap piece here. This is the back of the shirt. This blade allows you to cut fabric so that you can crochet along the border. So let me show you up nice and up close here. See those tiny holes? They're all spaced perfectly apart. You could now, if this was around the border, you could single crochet around the outside of this to start to make a border that you could then continue to crochet around. Okay, but first we need to decide how large we want this square to be. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut straight along the bottom here. And then I guess the ears will determine the width because that's the widest part of the dog. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to use my mat here. This came with my blade cutter. So it looks like I need to trim a little bit on this side. It looks like this goes down a little further here. So I'm just going to trim a little bit more off the bottom here. Okay. I was actually having trouble with the scissors, and I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but I just put my regular blade, if you're going to do this, be careful. I put my regular blade back in since that's what this is designed for. I may as well use it. And I'm going to use that to help me make a straight line here. So I'm going to line it up. Let me do it where you can see. So line it up right here. And I'll just cut along the bottom. Okay. You might have to go over it again. My blade is a little bit older, so I've used it quite a bit, so probably need to have it sharpened. But as you can see, that's a much straighter line than the scissors. All right, perfect. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut up each side. I'll probably start at the ears and come down. Now remember, you're going to still cut the skip stitches for your single crochet, so make sure you leave enough space. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing now on the other side. Okay, and now cross the top. Awesome. All right, so now you have your square, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and show you how I do this. So make sure you have the lock on it so that this cover, the protective covers over the blade, you're going to screw off the back. This is a 45mm, I think, rotary cutter. Carefully remove that blade and insert your skip stitch blade. Now be careful here, this part, there's a flat part on the bottom here that has to go in. Screw back on. Remove that protective cover. And now we are going to carefully go around the outside with our skip stitch to create those holes for us to single crochet into. Now you don't want to go over any area more than once. So make sure you get those holes right where you want them. Just go in a straight line. Now for making the pillow, I'm going to use a 4mm crochet hook, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to single crochet around the edge of this. I'll make a border, and then I'll just continue single crocheting around the outside until my square is large enough. And then for the back of the pillow, I'm going to make a granny square, and these are the colors that I'm going to use. I think they go really well with the doggy, the colors in the shirt. I'm just going to make a granny square. I haven't decided what pattern I'm going to use with the colors, but I'll make a granny square, and I'll just continue increasing the size of the granny square until it is approximately 15 inches, okay? And then you want your pillow cover to be about 1 inch smaller than the actual pillow insert, because you want it to be nice and full. So again, for the back of the pillow, I'm just going to make a granny square and make it until it's 15 inches. For the front, I'm going to single crochet around the outside here, and I'll show you that. And then I will just continue increasing that until it's also 15 inches. So I think I'm going to do, I have 2 shades of pink here, so I think what I'll do is start so we have a lighter pink, blue. Okay, I think I'm going to start on the outside with this lighter pink here. And I'll link to everything below. I believe these are all Red Heart Super Saver yarns, and I'll link to the colors. I'll also link to the Skip Stitch Rotary Blade Cutter this regular cutter, the mat, the pillow insert. That way if you are not able to find anything, you can just use those links to get the items. Okay, so now I'm going to start here in the corner. Okay, I'm going to attach my yarn. Make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm going to chain one. In that same space, I'm going to make one single crochet. Now, because this is a corner, I want it to have room to move, so it can be a corner. So I'm going to chain two, and in the same space, I'm going to make another single crochet. Okay. In each corner, each of the four corners, you will do a single crochet, chain two, single crochet in the same space. And now what I'm going to do is just single crochet down the side. So let me find that next hole. Single crochet, and again I'm using a 4mm G size crochet hook. These are the clover hooks. I really like these. And careful not to pull it too tight. And you could actually, if you didn't want to make a pillow, but you had a bunch of t-shirts that were like favorite band t-shirts or your kids' favorite t-shirts, or if just a t-shirt with a super cute print that you don't want to waste, you could actually do this, use the same technique to make like a blanket. Okay, and then you're just going to continue doing this along each side. So I'm just single crocheting down the side. Make sure you're not making your stitches too tight. And then again in the corner, single crochet, chain two, single crochet. I'm going to go ahead and finish up around the edge of the square, and then I'll meet back up and go over again the instructions for making this into a pillow. Okay, so after you complete round one, you'll have single crocheted around the entire edge. And again, you'll have just one single crochet in each hole along the sides, and in each corner, you will have single crochet, chain two, single crochet. So now for round two, I joined my pink yarn to the first stitch of the round, and then I chained two. And then in that chain two space in the corner from the pink round, from that first round, I did 1/2 double crochet, chain two, 1/2 double crochet. That chain two space is going to allow me to continue turning this piece into a square. Okay, and I guess I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but it is important to make sure, do your best to make sure that the piece that you cut from your shirt ends up being as close to a square as possible. And now I'm just going to 1/2 double crochet around the edge. In each single crochet, I will 1/2 double crochet, and in each corner, in that chain two space, I will make 1/2 double crochet, chain two, 1/2 double crochet. And I'm going to continue doing this round after round, switching colors until I have reached about 15 inches, okay? And that will be the front. And then again, once again for the back, you're just going to make a granny square and increase the size until that also equals 15 inches, okay? And then once you have those two pieces complete, then you'll be able to sew 3 of the sides together, insert your pillow, and then sew the last side shut. So once I get to that point, I will go ahead and show you how to do that. But for now, just go ahead and continue increasing until this part is 15 inches, and then you'll also make your granny square for the back. And if you don't know how to make a granny square, I'm gonna have my tutorial linked below for you so you could follow along to that. Just remember, you wanna use a G 4mm crochet hook because you don't want so much space between the stitches, because you wanna see your stitches and not this pillow insert, okay? All right, thank you. Okay, all right, so now we're back. And here is the front of my piece. I'd like to apologize for the lighting. I'm actually finishing this tutorial in my family room because it's a little bit later in the evening. And my little one is watching TV in my room. And Ashley's just really excited for me to finish the pillow. So I told her I would. So anyway, this is the front of the pillow. And I did end up blocking this. And as you can see, when stretched out, it comes to about 15 inches. Okay. So that's the front of the piece. And then this is the back. I just made a granny square and I used the same colors as I did for the front, and I just continued until it reached about 15 inches. And again, I made it 15 inches because my pillow insert is 16 inches and I want it to fit snugly, that way the pillow's not loose. So now what you're going to do is place your wrong sides together. Find your corners. You're going to want to use locking stitch markers to mark those corners. What we're going to do is we're going to end up sewing 3 of the seams together, and I'm actually going to sew the left, the top, and the right, and then we will insert our pillow in the bottom, and then I will finish by closing up the seam at the bottom here. And I'm putting that the last seam at the bottom so that it's not as noticeable. So go ahead and use locking stitch markers to mark those corners for yourself, because I find that as you're crocheting around the edges, a lot of times your pieces will move and then it won't be quite even. You want to make sure that it's nice and even. And so there are different ways you could do this. You could just use a tapestry needle and some yarn and sew the edges closed, but I'm just going to single crochet around the edges. And what I'll probably do is start here, go around, and then once I get here, I'll leave my yarn. I won't, finish off. I'll just set that aside, insert the pillow, and then I will continue to single crochet. So we can go ahead and start this together. I think I'm going to use my white yarn for this because it's already very colorful. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the tutorial, I did make this with a G hook, and the reason I made it smaller than I did, I used a smaller hook than I did for my granny square tutorial, is because I wanted these holes to be smaller, because you will see the pillow through there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to remove that first stitch marker, and then attach my yarn in that corner, and then you're just going to go all the way around, and as best as you can, keep it straight, and you're going to single crochet all the way around. Okay, I hope you can see that there. Okay, so I'm going to single crochet up the right side, the top, and then the left hand side, and then I'll meet you back here to insert the pillow and to finish it. Okay, so now here I single crocheted up the right hand side. I single crocheted along the top of the pillow, and I'll put this in the notes because I didn't mention this before, but in each corner I made 2 single crochet. Okay, you can see how nice that looks. And then I single crochet down the left hand side, and I inserted my pillow. Now remember, these 2 pieces were each 15-inch squares. The pillow is 16 by 16, and so it might make it a little bit hard to single crochet along the last edge here, but I think it'll be worth it because you can see the pillow is nice and plush. Okay, so here's the front of the pillow, and here is the back of the pillow, and I am really happy with how this turned out. So I will be getting this pattern up on my blog where I'll have more photos with Ashley with her pillow. She's very excited, and I will, once that's ready, I will link to that in the notes below, and I'll also have links for all of the products that I used in case you're not able to find them or if you don't live near a craft store. All right, guys, I hope you found this helpful. Please, if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comments section below. Thank you.